Well, the Supreme Court rules in today, or chimes in, and tells us that the federal government, for now, it wasn't a permanent decision. It was a decision before they fully hear the case to allow the Biden administration to come in and cut the razor ribbon that we put up. And of course, I don't like it. Of course, I would guess that you don't like it. But I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad we're doing it. Governor Abbott today doubling down. I just retweeted one of his tweets saying, "This is not over. Texas razor wires, an effective deterrent to the illegal crossings Biden encourages. I will continue to defend Texas' constitutional authority to secure the border and prevent the Biden administration from destroying our property." Well, it's more about destroying our state and our country. And I don't know if you heard today or over the weekend, but Joe Biden suddenly says, yes, our border is not, or no, our border is not secure. Can you believe this? Oh, let's see. Here we go. Here's what he said over the weekend in kind of a montage.
Do you believe that the border is secure, sir?
No, it's not. I haven't believed it for the last 10 years. But I've said it for the last 10 years.
Do you believe
Give me the money. Now, the question is for the Speaker and the House Republicans. Are they ready to act as well? They have to choose whether they want to solve a problem or keep weaponizing the issue to score political points against the president. I'm ready to solve the problem. I really am. Massive changes. And I mean it sincerely.
Okay, he's now suddenly ready for massive changes, quote unquote. Now, when he says massive changes, that is not anything like what you or I would like. When he says massive changes, he's talking about the thing that the agreement that they are working towards with the Senate, with the Republicans in the Senate, where you had our senator saying, not Ted Cruz, obviously. I think he's been radio silent on this so far with this alleged deal. But our milquetoast senator, John Cornyn, and he says, we need to work on this. We need to get this deal. This is a good deal. We're not going to get this deal. Dude, the guy's up for election. And by the way, today there was criticism on Fox News about this saying, well, Trump's been calling the Republicans in the House saying, don't go on board with this deal. Don't go along with this deal. But do you know why he might be saying that? It's not because it's like, and they were taking this whole angle of, refusing to want to give Biden any credit or make him look good. No, that's not what this is about. This is about a deal that would allow 5,000 illegals to come into this country every day still. And only to stop or to kick out or remove over 5,000 if they come for over 7 days in a row. So they can get 5,000 a day for 7 days and they're fine. But if they go over that, actually they can go 5,000 a day for the rest of the Biden administration. If they go over that, then there's a problem if it goes 7 days straight. So they can just go over 5,000 for 6 days and then skip a day and then go back over 5,000. And it would allow all of Joe's illegals to get work permits. And so much more. And there's a lot more we're learning. The Joe Biden administration deported in December filed 265,000 deportation cases, the more than have been filed in the entire of any fiscal year, I should say. The whole year, not just 1 month, but a whole year between 2006 and 2017. Why is he doing that? Because he has let in so many. Don't look at the number and say, oh, he's deporter in chief now. No, he's not. He also has let in over 1 million people. The reports came out today from CBS and from Daily Mail Online. Over 1 million illegals allowed in. So, and guess what else? He let in, since October 2021, Joe Biden let in nearly 3 million illegals that are given those notice to appear court dates. He has let in nearly 3 million illegals. And look at this. When you compare, this is amazing. In just 22, 23, 24, not even, no, in two years, he's let in 3 million, okay? Now look at this. in a 17-year span from 2001 to 2018, we have let in a 17-year span prior to this, we let in 4 million in 17 years. Joe has let in 3 million in 2. Prior to that, we've let in 4 million in 17 years. Are you seeing this now? Joe Biden lets in 1.5 million a year. Producer Garrett, would you do the math on 17 years divided by 4 million? 4 million. How many per year is the average there when you go 4 million divided up over 17 times? What is that? It ain't going to be 1.5 million a year. I guarantee you that. It's 235,000. Look at this, you guys. For 17 years prior to Joe Biden, we let in how many again? 200 what? 235,000 a year. That's the average. 235,000 a year in a 17-year average, and Joe Biden lets in 1.5 million. Dude, he literally went 1.25 million in a year more than our average for 17 years straight. See this? This is a wholesale chosen invasion, and we're supposed to make a deal for amnesty that lets these illegals continue to pour in. Guess what? I told you. I was thinking about this today. I'm like, holy cow. After one of my sponsors, Soda Weight Loss, my Soda Weight Loss workout this afternoon, I'm in the shower. You know, sometimes you think deep thoughts in the shower, and I go, wait a minute. For 2 years, I was telling you that this invasion, actually 3 years I've been telling you, but I was all over this for 2 years straight saying this whole invasion is a cudgel. Joe is allowing this massive invasion to be a cudgel to use against us to get his amnesty. You know what I'm saying? So he takes his hammer, he makes a big hammer, which is all the illegals invading us that he wants to have in, and he's beating us over the head, getting us upset and bringing in a whole cadre of new future voters that will replace us. And in his view, hopefully they'll vote Democrat, which he does believe they will. And in the meantime, then after this invasion for 3 years, this is all planned. Then he'll go, look, this is we have a broken border. We need to fix this. And then he gets his amnesty that he wanted 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? This is a cudgel. I was right then at the beginning, and I'm right now. We also have 3 different cases of gang members and rapists and murderers, actually 4 I'll tell you about, that are from Joe's illegals, and this is just the beginning of what we're going to be seeing. It's horrific, it's shocking, it's disgusting, it's enraging. Also, I'll tell you about the TSA allowing illegals to fly through without any picture ID, or with some picture ID that somebody provided, maybe not even their picture, who knows. Now, got a couple questions for you on all this. Do you feel safe? As I just mentioned, there's about 4 cases of illegals murdering and raping our kids and mentally disabled people and adults. Do you feel safe with Joe Biden's border policies? Do you think he has protected us or put us in harm's way? And do you think illegals are getting allowed a lot more privacy and more rights than we are afforded? As we're seeing in this TSA story where you can go through without a picture, a photo ID. And do you want Republicans to strike a deal with Biden on immigration, or should we stand firm with what we demand? Close the border and deport them all before we talk. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. I'll tell you about these several gang members, notorious ones from Venezuela and from MS-13 and a separate Venezuelan gang committing murder, rape, kidnap, all sorts of vile things they do in their own country all the time. Now it's here, and this is just the beginning, guys. All right? And what TSA's policies are and how they're letting illegals go through without having to show a photo ID like we. Can you imagine getting on a plane and not showing photo ID like the illegals get? All right, we'll take your call as well. 800-288-WBAP. Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
Why are you repeating this false claim that Republicans voted to reduce the number of Border Patrol agents, even though the Washington Post gave the administration 3 Pinocchios for that?
So we don't believe it's a false claim. Our statements were very direct here. Last year, House GOP voted, and not only did they vote for it, but they touted their Limit, Save, Grow Act. That's the act.
Well, limit, and they vowed that it would never affect Border Patrol.
they voted for and touted it, right? This is an act. And this would have forced the elimination of 2,000 Border Patrol agents. That's what this act that they touted, that they voted for in the House. So that was their proposal, and that was what they voted for back in May.
Well, there they are. A couple questions for you right now. As the Supreme Court said, for now, they didn't hear the case fully. You have to understand something on this case, saying that the Border Patrol can cut our razor ribbon. It is a temporary thing. They have not heard the full case. The two of our justices that one of the Trump appointee, Roberts, that I believe Bush appointed, didn't he? Loves to play politics and be like, well, I don't want us to look too conservative, so I'll head us this way, to the left. But it was Roberts and believe it or not, Amy Coney Barrett from Trump appointee that said, right now we're going to let the Border Patrol keep cutting it because the federal supremacy type argument over the state will be okay. But they have not fully decided the case. When they hear the case, they may end up changing their mind. But they said that for now they can do that. So that's what happened. Now, the Biden administration, this whole deal that we're trying to get done with, that Republicans are trying to get done, I don't want this thing done, is a joke, as I've mentioned. And look at this, guys. Here's something look at this from CBS News reported this day, that 422,000 illegals have been granted parole since January 8th. Wait. As of January 18th, 422,000 invoked the parole authority. Wow. Federal statistics as of Jan 18 show Biden has invoked parole authority for 422,000 illegals. 340,000 Haitians, Cubans, Nicaraguans, Venezuelans, 176,000 Ukrainians. Look at this, 77,000 Afghanis, most of whom were airlifted from Kabul. Now, most of those they weren't the ones that were supposed to be coming here. A lot of them were child rapists. They had 3 9-year-old brides and stuff like that have been shown and busted. One of the Kabul refugees raped one of our women on a military base that's right kind of at the border of Texas and New Mexico. We talked about that when that happened. So, let me pause for a second and tell you about what the TSA is doing. This all started because a guy Dave Rubin, who's well known with social media stuff, goes on Fox News pretty regularly. Dave Rubin was going into Miami airport, where he apparently lives in Florida, so he must live in that area. He was going there, and as he was in line, he saw a picture that he took a photo of a TSA posted a little poster that said, if you're one of these illegals, just show us your CBP One ID from your CBP One app with and that you don't have to do any pictures if you don't want to. No photo ID for the illegals, but for you and me, you better believe you got to have a photo ID. So it's that's what Joe's doing, and we know that, and we all know that. Now he's also letting in a lot of illegals that are raping and killing us. I told you a month or two roughly ago about a 15-year-old illegal who stabbed a homeless man. They were fighting over a burn barrel, and he's been arrested for murder in New York City. I also saw a report over the weekend from the New York Post saying the illegals in that area of one of the Manhattan parks are defecating and urinating in cups. I read the full article and talked about how the illegals the porta potty there has been so trashed they closed it down. They can't even clean it because it keeps getting so trashed. And so the illegals are now peeing and pooing in cups and leaving them all over this neighborhood in New York, and they're complaining, and it made the Post. But so one's a murderer. There's another one I told you about last week, who is a guy, one of the Joe's illegals who came here a year and a half ago. He has been arrested by ICE for raping a developmentally disabled, mentally disabled girl, woman or girl, we don't know. And he's been arrested by ICE and is in their custody. in Massachusetts in the Boston area. Now we have another one. We have a mom whose 13-year-old daughter was, her daughter was allegedly killed by an MS-13 member. She's suing DHS today for $100 million. He's been accused, this illegal, who's supposedly a member of MS-13 from El Salvador, has been arrested and charged with raping a 20-year-old girl. And so she filed a $100 million lawsuit. She blames Joe Biden. She blames DHS. Also, the first ever case out of Miami today reported about a 43-year-old retired Venezuelan cop who was lured, home invasion, kidnapped, murdered, tied up, and dumped and slaughtered in Miami. One of the one illegal, there's three of them apparently, they got one, and he reportedly is a member of Tren de Aragua. I've never seen this one before. Tren de Aragua. That is a state. Aragua is a state in Venezuela. They are a notorious gang that is incredibly violent and murderous. I'd say they're just like MS-13 from what I read on it today in the Miami paper, the Miami Herald. And this is the first confirmation, according to an expert. They said he moved through the Darien Gap. A lot of these gang members, have been reports of them moving through the Darien Gap, walking all the way up to the United States, coming in illegally. They arrested 38 of these known bad Venezuelan gang members in the past year or two at the border, but tons of them have reportedly come in. This is the first confirmed case, they believe, of a rape, murder, abduction, an abduction of a man. And there's 2,500 of them, the members of this group, and they believe they're fleeing Venezuela, and they use excessive demonstration to demonstrate their power. So there you go. Now, I want to say something real fast. Jason Jones, who is a retired captain in DPS, he said that this kind of stuff is what you're going to see, but what you're seeing today now with all these ones I laid out here is just the beginning. 5 years from now, so many more stories. 10 years from now, so many more stories. All this is from Joe Biden and the Democrats with an invasion that has let in around 10 million, 1.5 million gotaways, 9 million or so illegals allowed into this country in 3 years, and our country is being destroyed. No deal. No deal. That's darn right. No deal is what I say. 800-288-WBAP is our number. 800-288-9227. DeSantis bows out, which was pretty shocking, right? Although, was it too much? It's now just Haley versus Biden. Holy crap! It's on. We're going to talk about that next. DeSantis is out, as we all know. It wasn't really that big of a jolt to you. I mean, it was over for him. But you know what's funny? He came in second in Iowa, and he's done. And yet here's Nikki Haley hanging on. Now, she is officially going to, I think she's going to, watch this, she's going to lose, and depending on the polls you believe, she's going to lose between 15 and 27 points in New Hampshire. Based on all the polls we're seeing, I'm going to give you some more details in a minute. They're shockingly bad for her. And then, dude, in South Carolina, her home state, nobody in the South Carolina government, including all these people that she nominated and or picked and or endorsed, have picked Trump, not her. Literally, it seems as though it is the entire state government, office holders, and leaders of the state of South Carolina, where she was governor for 2 terms. And all she can say is, well, they're the establishment. That's why they don't like me. Dude, it's your whole freaking party from your home state. None of them want you. This is she's been cuckolded by her own colleagues from her own state. She's been cuckolded. There is nothing to me more embarrassing than this. I would be so embarrassed and ashamed. And I don't believe her when she says, oh, they're just the establishment. It doesn't bother me. I don't believe her. Do you? Come on. You telling me this is why she's such a fake fraud, because if she got all their nominations, she would have accepted them, don't you think? Yeah, of course she would have accepted them. So, the entire, look, the governor of South Carolina endorses Trump. The lieutenant governor, Trump. The attorney general, Trump. The Republican assembly members, at least a lot of them, Trump. The senior senator, Lindsey Graham, Trump. The junior senator, Tim Scott, Trump. Nancy Mace, who Nikki Haley endorsed. Trump did not endorse her. She picked Trump yesterday or today. Gosh, dude. My gosh. I don't know many people that think Nancy Mace is the establishment, as Nikki Haley says. Nikki Haley looks terrible. You know who she's running for now? Independents and Democrats to vote for her. Unfortunately, they're not picking the presidential nominee. So, and I'll share the polls with you, as I said, in a second. They're amazing. I mean, it's insane how bad she's doing. But in South Carolina, her home state, she's down by 30 there. You know that? 30 freaking points. Good night. This woman is freaking toast. Yeah, so this is bad. And DeSantis was invited to go, and he was asked to go tonight to this big rally they're having in New Hampshire. It's going to be, honestly, this is an incredible showing for Trump. This is ridiculous, is what it is. It's going to be, let's see here, Doug Burgum and his massive bison-sized eyebrows. It's going to be, let's see, Tim Scott. It's going to be, who else am I missing here? Here we go. Tim Scott, Vivek Ramaswamy, Doug Burgum, and they're all going to be there tonight with him. Ron DeSantis was invited, and he passed because I think he's licking his wounds. And I'm not knocking him, and Trump is not knocking him anymore, and he's being all nice. Now, he said he officially retired to sanctimonious, which is kind of funny. He said that in a press conference over the weekend. In fact, I have this is from a press conference he said to all the media here. Here we go. Boom.
Okay. He just said, will I be using the name Ron DeSanctimonious? I said, that name is officially retired.
That's it. DeSanctimonious is officially retired. Oh, he's quite the character. All right. Want me to give you the polls first? Let's give you some of these polls. This is how bad it is. It's over. I really do think it's over. The national poll for... Actually, I'll give that to you next. Harvard-Harris with Trump versus Biden, and there was some others. But here we go. In New Hampshire, Insider Advantage says New Hampshire, Trump leads Haley 62-35. 62-35 in New Hampshire. What is that, guys? That's almost 30 freaking points. Nikki Haley, 35, Donald Trump, 62, undecided, 3%. Insider Advantage's pollster there says, I've done New Hampshire polling for years. It's hard to poll this state. And with that in mind, this is major consolidation, he says, and that Ron DeSantis leaving has solidified it for Trump. Meantime, Harvard-Harris. This is crazy, y'all. So remember, this is Harvard-Harris. Polling has him, let me jump around here to theirs. Okay, Harvard-Harris polls has the choices of Trump versus Biden. It's really bad. Trump wins straight up versus Biden, according to Harvard-Harris. Do you really think Harvard pollsters really want Trump to win? No. Trump up by 6 in a direct head-to-head race right now with Biden. Trump versus Biden versus RFK, 8 points. Trump versus Biden versus RFK versus Kanye West. Oh, no, Cornel West. They're both so obscure to me, it doesn't matter, does it? As far as their actual candidacy, to me, it's the same thing. I don't do. They're both going to lose. But, okay, this is with Cornel West, Jill Stein, RFK Jr. Biden gets 33, Trump gets 44. Trump wins by 11. And then Republican primary, Harvard-Harris says Trump 71, DeSantis 10, Haley 9. All right. So there you go. There's some other stuff that I'll share with you. It's just very, very scary for Nikki Haley. I'll leave it at that. I think here's my last thing on this. She's going to drop out before South Carolina. I think she's going to drop out by either tomorrow night or the day after tomorrow night. I think she's dropping out between 24 and 40 hours from right now. Why? Because she will have an historic loss tomorrow. And at that point, the next, the next primary is her home state. She will not allow the bald-faced cuckolding of herself, her name, her pedigree, her history in South Carolina. She will go into the night, and she'll leave the race, and she will go to make millions with the big industrial war and a Republican complex to make millions and millions and millions more. She's out after, I believe, tomorrow. Either at night or 24 hours after that. She's going to lose hard, and then she's going to get out. All right, because that's it. Here's the questions I have for you. There's a couple of them. Do you think Nikki Haley stands a chance to be the Republican presidential candidate, or do you think it's done? The Trump is the nominee. Is it done? And what do you really think Trump's chances of winning against Biden are? I thought about this. I have to be directly honest with you. I think it could be a mirage. I was talking to somebody yesterday. We're all excited. I'm like, you know what? This could end up being a mirage. It was in the back of my head. Same as last time where we lose. I see a softer tone on Trump, which is good. I don't know. What do you really think Trump's chances of winning against Biden are? Could it be a mirage? And do you think Nikki Haley stands a chance to be the Republican presidential candidate, or is it done that Trump's the nominee? Boom. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. We'll start off the box out of the box next with Ken in Arlington. And I'm going to tell you what big judge, first name judge we all know, has swooped in to New Hampshire to try to save the day for Nikki Haley. Coming up next, Chris Kroc, program News Talk 820 WBAP, on News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM, I should say, at 93.3. Oh, yeah! News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. Make it a preset. Chris Kroc, program. Judge Judy has come out swinging, endorsing Nikki Haley. Nikki, that is who you would have to warm up the crowd to, give people a smile and make them laugh a little bit, but that's not going to get you anything. And I think her show has been off the air for, 10, 15 years or so? I mean, she's older now. But nonetheless, maybe that'll get her like 1/10 of 1/4 of 1%. I don't know, extra. Okay, she's been Judge Judy's been off the air for 23 years? Oh, just 3 years. I'm sorry. I thought you said 23 years. I couldn't tell you. It's been that long. Of course, we all know who she is, but 3 years. Now, that's better. Woo! Anyway, after DeSantis went out, some of these political experts... Oh, and New Hampshire GOP strategist was quoted in the Politico today talking about how once he left, that's it. It's over. It's over. Once DeSantis got out, it's over. Trump gets over 50% is what he was talking about. I read that earlier. Ken in Arlington, you have called in and the questions, of course, are, do you think Nikki Haley stands a chance to be the Republican presidential candidate, or is it done that Trump is the nominee? And what do you really think Trump's chances of winning against Biden are? Is it a mirage that he's going to win and it's a sure thing? Will it be the same as last time, or maybe not this time? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Ken in Arlington, you're on News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3.
No, I think she's done, like you said, but I think what DeSantis did, I think he ran as far as he could. He didn't lose. He came in second, and he bowed out before New Hampshire and saying, I'm going to endorse Trump, and then he's going to encourage all his supporters to back Trump. And then that way it's a win-win.
Yeah, he officially endorsed him right away, and he threw Nikki Haley under the bus by saying that she is an establishment candidate and Trump is not. And but he also criticized Trump a little bit on the way out with Dr. Fauci and something else. But that's fine. He just wants to lick his wounds a little bit, and nobody can blame him.
Oh, yeah, I think it was just like a schoolyard fight. And I think what it was, I think they were friends the whole time. And
no, they were not friends the whole time, dude.
You don't think so?
No, he said he betrayed. Trump said that DeSantis betrayed him and he attacked him mercilessly. And no, not at all. No, I think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to repatch that relationship. In fact, Trump was asked about that. You invited him, but he didn't come. He's like, well, it's been hard for Ron, and it's been tough, and it got pretty nasty. Something to that effect. He said it her early on Fox. Right. And yeah, dude, they're not still friends right now. They're gonna have to patch that together. They will, and Trump will endorse him. A lot of people that are like going nuts for Trump are saying 2028 DeSantis. As soon as he withdrew in the past 24 hours, I've seen it in the news, and I've also seen it on Twitter. It says they're all saying the same thing. DeSantis 2024. DeSantis 2024. I'm sorry, 2020. What 8? Excuse me.
8
after Trump's term.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you're right on that, and I think that's what's going to happen. But I think all his backers are going to start backing Trump. Not the maybe not the financial, but the voters.
Not okay. You're saying not the financial, but the voters. I think that's absolutely true, and I think it's already happened. And that's what the New Hampshire political consultant that's been doing this for years said, that they're all going to go to Trump. They ain't going to go to Nikki. And we saw that. We saw a big surge once that happened in the polls that have been done since then. So, yes, I agree.
Right. And, I think she's done like you said. Whether it's 12 hours or 24 hours, eventually I think she's going to go to the rocking chair.
Well, this is her last stand in New Hampshire, because she's losing by 30 points in her home state. She's not going to let that happen. She's going to resign or withdraw, suspend her campaign if she loses pretty handily in New Hampshire. If she hangs on by 5 points or so, she'll probably stick around. But she's going to lose, according to these polls, all these polls, by 15, 20, 25. If that happens, she just needs to go to bed. It's good night. She won't stick around after that. I really don't think so.
No, she won't. And I think, she's going to hope that he puts her in the administration, which that ain't going to happen.
No, he won't let it. He said he said I don't think she would. He didn't say anything bad about her per se, but he said I don't think she would. I think he said it's not going to happen too. I think I heard him in an interview with Martha McCallum today on Fox. But yeah, no, she's going to get out. I mean, dude, if she gets close to New Hampshire, she could stick on because she could possibly win several other after she loses horribly in South Carolina. But if she loses pretty badly in New Hampshire, dude, she came in third in Iowa. She's about to lose in New Hampshire handily, probably. And the third state's going to be South Carolina. She might be losing by 30 points. How could you possibly stick in at that point?
You can't. Now, do you think DeSantis will be in the administration?
Hold on. How do you float? Let me just reposit that. How do you float a 30-point loss in your home state? How do you spin that? What do you say on that? Whoa, is it say like she said today? Well, no, the reason nobody's endorsing me for my home state is because they're all establishment. I'm not with the establishment. The whole establishment's bankrolling her right now.
Right. Yeah.
No, but DeSantis won't be in his administration. He already said, I'm not going to do that. Dude, his position as the governor is the perfect... I got to roll, brother, but thank you. His position as the governor is the most powerful executive position, and that's exactly where he needs to be to launch his campaign again. He suspended his now. If something should happen to Trump where he somehow can't possibly win or something, or I don't know, then it's possibly that one of these people could unsuspend their campaign and take it over. But I don't think that's going to happen. And I actually agree with our agricultural commissioner, Sid. I can't remember Sid's last name, though. But he is a huge supporter of Trump, and he says that with 90 federal charges against or felony charges against him, one of them is probably going to stick. But even if he gets convicted, Sid Miller, our ag commissioner, who's a huge supporter of Trump, said that even if he gets convicted, he thinks he'll still get elected and he'll still be put in office even if he's jailed. And I agree. We've said that before, and I agree. 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Coming up next, Dallas cops are taking a lot longer to respond and in the worst crimes. And in the the second most worst crimes, it's taking forever. To me, my take is you don't have a police department for the most part in Dallas. I really hate to say that, but you don't. And we're going to talk about how your police response time is where you live, and what about the city of Dallas, and what do you think about their situation? That's up next on the Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. Hey, 3-time Grammy winner Dan and Shay coming to Fort Worth March 8th at Dickies Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, or you can win tickets now by visiting the contest page at WBAP.com.